Are you tired of hopping on Roblox and then seeing only slop games? Me too, which is why today I'm starting a series where people can actually find good Roblox games to play. Every month I'll compile 20 of the best games that are either new, got an update in that month, or are just fun games to play, and I'll be showing them off to all of you guys. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, but let's get into it. Our first game is an FPS game called Dogs of War World War II, which has been absolutely blowing up lately, and it's quite a fun game. It's an FPS game with an incredibly unique art style for Roblox, and although the gameplay isn't particularly revolutionary, it's definitely worth checking out, and make sure you use the frag grenades. That's all I'm gonna say. The frag grenades are a little OP. At number 19, we have Dead Rails. Dead Rails has been absolutely exploding. It has like 250,000 people playing it at once, which is insane. You guys have most likely already played it, but if you haven't, I guess go check it out. You put coal in a train, and then you go down the train track, and you fight zombies. At number 18, we have Weird Gun Game. This is an FPS with incredibly in-depth customization, where you can change your barrel, your magazine, the core of your weapon, the stock, the grip, and all of those attachments change your recoil, damage, fire rate, all that kind of stuff. And you can make some pretty crazy weapon combinations. At number 17, we have Dangerous Truck Driving. Now, this game has more dislikes than likes because it's incredibly difficult, I'm not gonna lie. You drive a truck, it's very, very hard to maneuver the truck, and you fall off the map quite a bit. And you're trying to make it to your different checkpoints and make it all the way to the end. I guarantee most people have not made it to the end of this one. It's hard. At number 16, we have Frontlines. Now, I know that this game is going to get updates soon. It hasn't yet, but it's definitely worth playing. One of the best FPS games on Roblox for sure. Very high quality graphics, and the gunplay is pretty good as well. At number 15, we have Burger King Murder Mystery 2. Yeah, the classic murder mystery game. Obviously not new, but it's still very fun to play. There's your reminder to check it out again. At number 14, we have Speedrun 4, which got a crazy update with pets and things like that. And I know it was very controversial, but I think they rolled back some of the stuff, and it has new stuff for February. Just another classic game. It's got some weird stuff now. It's a little bit too complex for me, but yeah, it's still a very fun parkour kind of game. Number 13, we have Edward the Man-Eating Train, like a horror and FPS game at the same time. It's pretty interesting. At number 12, we have Entrenched World War I. This is a very fun World War I FPS. You can play it in first person or third person. Headshotting people feels really nice with the bolt action. It's a pretty fun game. At number 11, we actually have a tycoon. This is the only tycoon I could find for this video. It's called Noob Crusher Tycoon. It's not necessarily a revolutionary tycoon, but the way that you earn money is quite novel, and I actually really enjoy looking at the little noobs getting crushed. It's pretty fun. At number 10, we have Flee the Facility, which got an update for Valentine's Day. This is the classic horror survival game where you have to hack 4 computers. Well, I think it depends how many computers you have to hack based on the number of players in your match. But the survivors have to hack the computers, then open the door, then escape before the guy with the hammer chases them all down and freezes them. This game is super fun to play the survivor and also to play the hunter guy. The survivor, it's really fun to juke people out, and then obviously freezing people can be very fun as well. Just a classic game, but it got an update for February. At number 9, we have Booga Booga Reborn. Booga Booga is one of the classic, I don't even know how to describe it, like survival games, kind of. You fight people, you can build a base, you can make a team, you can fight other people, you can go find stuff. I was never a huge fan of it, but it is cool that they're kind of bringing it back a little bit. And some of the interactions you can have on this game are incredibly fun, so it's a pretty good game. At number 8, we have the Battle Bricks. Now, this is a very, very cool two-dimensional tower defense game. It's honestly incredible how well the art style is put together, and it gets very complicated later on. I barely played it, but it's a lot like that Battle Cats mobile game, which is pretty fun. Basically, you have a base. You can spawn your units from that base, and they walk to the other side. The other guy's units walk back to your side, and they fight in the middle. Your goal is to try to push up to the enemy side and then destroy their base. Your base can also fire a weapon, and you can also upgrade your base as well in terms of how much health it has. It's a pretty fun game. At number 7, we have Grave. I'm not going to say the second word so I don't get canceled because I might say it wrong. This is an incredibly atmospheric, like World War II underground FPS. You can make a tunnel with your pickaxe. You can fight people. You can switch your shoulder, which is a very cool mechanic for a third-person game. I don't think I've ever seen that on Roblox, which is really cool. You can lean over your left shoulder or your right shoulder, which really helps you with peeking around corners, and it's definitely a very fun game. It's very difficult. The respawns are very long, and the atmosphere with the audio is crazy. Take a listen to this. Number 6, we have a puzzle game known as LiDAR. This is a game where you have some kind of projection device that creates dots on your screen. It's really interesting. Basically, you can scan your environment to see where you're allowed to walk around. You can actually scan other players in your lobby, which is really cool. Definitely one of the most interesting games out there. It's very early on in development, so there's not really much puzzle to it, but it's very fun to go check out. At number 5, we have Word Bomb, which is a very fun puzzle game. It doesn't even feel like Roblox, to be honest with you. It feels like kind of a game you'd buy on Steam or play in your browser. Basically, you get a selection of letters and you have to make a word using those letters. If you make it within the time limit, it goes to the next person. If you don't, you lose a life and you only have 2 lives. If you're out for the round and you have to wait for everybody else to finish the game. There are genuine sweats on this game, so keep that in mind. If you're not good at typing or figuring out how to create a word out of the 2 letters or 3 letters you're given, it's definitely not going to be a fun game for you, but I actually really recommend it. Like, this is a game that might make you better at grammar, at spelling, at typing. If you're like 8 years old, go check out this game instead of playing like slop games. Come on, man. At number 4, we have Rogue Blade, which is basically a roguelike game on Roblox. It's inspired by some of the other classic roguelike games on Roblox. And this game is pretty fun. You fight enemies in a little square, then you go buy stuff from the shop. You go out and fight more enemies. Keep in mind, if you take hits, it's very difficult to get your health back. It's kind of a war of attrition in that way, and a lot of games are kind of like that. Like randomly generated droids, shout out to that one. That's not on this list, but both those games are pretty fun. At number 3, we have Running from the Internet. Now, this has a very nice looking art style. It's one of those Nextbot games where you have the PNGs chasing you, but a lot of the games actually come down to player versus player combat. You get mystery boxes, and you can get landmines, you can get like a snowball, you can get a box that explodes. There are a lot of different power-ups, and I believe you get to make like a card deck of your different power-ups that you can use, which is honestly a very cool feature. I don't know if it's that balanced because I think some of them are better than others. It's kind of interesting that you can make your own custom build. I haven't tried it really, but the game is really fun. It's just fun to throw boxes at people and they blow up. At number 2, we have The Flappy Men. Now, this is a very fun FPS game with a bunch of different classes. It's another one of those games with the classic Roblox style. Most of the games with this style, honestly, are very good. They take the classic Roblox art style, which is very easy to implement into games, and then they just make a fun game out of it. Honestly, the animations on this game are very fun and probably took a lot more time than they kind of look like they do. But there's different objectives in the game. You have a bunch of different classes that all have their own unique weapons, and the weapons are quite unique. There's a railgun guy, sniper guy, melee people. There's a bunch of different stuff. And at number 1, we have Lexington Concord, which is a very fun 1700s American Revolution FPS. I don't know if I should call it FPS. It's one of those games where you have a musket and you shoot very, very slow. You can use melee, a bayonet, and your weapons do a ton of damage. And it's really fun because you actually have to work together with your team in this kind of game because everybody shoots so slow. So it can take a lot of coordination and it makes the game a lot more fun. And it really looks like it does because, yeah, you shoot slow, but it's not like Frontlines where you just kind of go off on your own. You got to play with your team, and that's pretty fun. Anyways, make sure you subscribe and comment more games for next video. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.